Good afternoon, friends, and welcome to the session today. We really appreciate your taking out time and joining us today. We understand your time is very precious, and I can assure you that this investment of time will definitely be worth it. Some of you who know me are aware that I lost my mother-in-law to cancer a couple of years ago. We tried everything that could possibly be done to cure her. Chemotherapy, radiation, surgery. We had the best oncologists in Delhi NCR treating her. She did get cured, but after a while, the cancer relapsed and eventually we lost her. The only thing we didn't try at that time was plant-based whole food diet. And I wonder if we would have known about this earlier, could this have saved her life or lives of many other people that we are trying to save by promoting knowledge about plant-based whole food diet. Our speaker today, Jaishree, got cancer in 2007. She got cured. And her cancer, ovarian cancer, relapsed in 2008. Inspired by Louise Hay, she changed her diet to a plant-based whole food diet, and she successfully beat her cancer. And she's thriving today. She's got a master's degree. She's a qualified counselor. She holds a certificate in plant-based nutrition from T. Colin Campbell Center for Nutrition Studies, from E-Cornell University, and working actively with Sharon, conducting cooking classes, workshops, and talks. Thousands of people have benefited from her workshops, individual counseling, and therapy sessions. I also had the good fortune of attending her session sometime in August last year and benefited immensely from that. And we are truly honored to have her as our speaker today. Thank you, Jaishree, for joining us today. Before I hand over the stage to Jaishree, I'll take a minute to introduce myself, as some of you are joining us for the first time. My name is Ashish Kumar. I started Mindful Living in 2018 after working in the corporate sector for over 25 years in senior management roles with organizations like Tata AIG, Future Generali, Marsh, HCL Group, and Dabur Group. During the years of my working with the corporate sector, I saw how stressed the employees are in the corporate sector and the adverse effects of stress on the employees and the many chronic lifestyle diseases that it leads to. In the last 3+ years, we have conducted over 250 sessions for employees in the leading organizations like Aditya Birla Group, Tata Group, IBM, EXL, Hero Group, Schneider Electric, Signify, and many other leading organizations in helping employees lead healthier, happier, and wealthier lives. The session today is part of our community initiative, which we started in April 2020 when the COVID set in. It was a group of few friends who got together to practice mindfulness to deal with the stress which COVID had kind of imposed on all of us. And that small group of 10 people has today grown to be a vibrant community of 2,000 people who gather every Saturday to discuss and learn, practice different aspects of mindfulness. The session today is about eating mindfully. And if you would like to be a part of our community and get updates about the awesome sessions that we do every Saturday, please click on the link that we are sharing in the chat and join us. We are also sharing the link of the YouTube channel that we have. Our YouTube channel hosts all the sessions that we have conducted in the past, and you can refer to them for information. The sessions in February we dedicated to cancer. 4th of February is World Cancer Day. And the first session that we did in February was by Dr. Nupur Agrawal, who is based in UK. And her session was on mind-body connection. Then next week, we had session from Dr. Shalu, who is from National Cancer Institute of USA, and she spoke about what can we do to prevent cancer. Then we had Sharmila talk about forgiveness and letting go, because pent-up emotions is one of the major causes of cancer. And third session was there last Saturday. And today's session is our signature session in the series by Jaishree on plant-based whole food diet, which can help not only cure cancer but also reversing in many of the chronic diseases that are ravaging us today. Before I invite Jaishree to speak, I'll just like to share with everyone that today's session is not a podcast. So we'll really appreciate your keeping the camera on so that we are not talking to the black boxes on the Zoom screen, but to some real people. Also, it's not a TV show where you can lean back and enjoy. Please keep your notepad and pen ready to take any notes, any valuable information that Jaishree will be sharing during our session, and to write down any questions which we will be taking towards the end of the session. So on that note, I'd like to invite Jaishree to please take forward the session.
Thank you, Ashish, for the wonderful introduction, and welcome all of you for today's talk. Hope I can help you with whatever it is. Whatever I share might help you in some way. So as Ashish said, my journey in all this whole plant-based diet started when I fell ill and it relapsed. And then I had no clue because my doctor said, we'll nip it in the bud. Now I said, okay, again, nip it in the bud, again, go through chemo, radiation. And I didn't feel good hearing that from my doctor, because he never gave me assurance that it will not come back. So it meant like, every time when it comes, he'll be nipping it in the bud. And that's when I was in really low spirits with surgery and chemo. And and your body just cannot take it. I suppose anybody who's gone through cancer would know, first time we are all fine and we can fight it, but the second time it's just shatters. I mean, your body is just it's in a terrible mess. And I was like that. And that is when, as Ashish said, I got this book. And Louise talked a lot about reversing her own illness by going on she talked in the book like raw diet. And she said I ate vegetables and fruits where I didn't even know the name of them. And so here also I was doing the same thing. And eating food, the doctors say no raw food, you have to take care, your immunity is very low, and things like that. And you believe, because doctors are very good, I don't deny my doctor is very good. So he knows what he knows, like, and he knows to treat me. But when it came to nutrition, it was eat everything, no problem. And then and the side effects were really bad, and I didn't know what to do. And each time I had those side effects, he would prescribe some more medicines for it, and I was really rock bottom. So in that rock bottom, I said, let me eat this raw food and let's see what happens to me. That is how my journey started. And then I went on to learning and reading and understanding all of it. So today I'll just share a little bit of what it is to eat a whole plant-based food with more raw, and how it's going to help you. And I'll just share my slides so that it makes easier for you all to understand, and for me also to be with the flow. Are you all game for it? And don't get scared that you have to eat raw and you have to change your diet 365 days, nothing like that. You just understand, and it's so damn easy to get back to health. That's what you will understand at the end of my sharing. Yes. Sorry. So you can see my slides. In my slides, Ashish, my slides are
Yes,
seen?
we can see Jaishree.
Okay. So let's eat our way to health. Does anybody tell you that? Normally the doctors say we'll give you medicines and treat you. Yes, we are all familiar with it. And let's remember that doctors only treat us. They don't heal us. They don't go to the cause. They don't help us to go deeper into it. And anyway, that's not the work of the doctor anyway, is it? So so what is it? So today I'll be talking about how we can get back to health. And when you look at health, it's the physical body which we think of. See, when we are in any pain, can we put our 100%? When we are in ill health, we are not able to give our 100%. And we need to have that wonderful perfect body where we get up in the morning, we can jump out of bed and start our day with all the energy which we want. And that's what is actually health, isn't it? And not taking those medicines, though we might be doing it, but definitely deep down we always feel that, I am tired, I'm not feeling good. So how do we get that physical health? So when we look at it, our physical health, when we want to get back to health, we have to look into first our immune system. It's the most important factor in the body to avoid any kind of disease. So our immune system is built so well to protect us from all illness. So if our immune system is really healthy and up to the mark, we don't really fall sick, and we get back to health also very soon. But over the years, there is so much of compromise on this immune system of ours that we really can't get back to health at all with medication or treatment, and then our health really deteriorates. So when we get cancer, what I noticed was my immune system has really gone for a toss, and the medicines which I take made it worse. So there were things like ulcers and mouth ulcers, constipation, and everything you are medicated. Nobody tells you that you can have a diet change and it will help you. That was not told to me, and I had no clue of it. But when I really learned how to build this immune system, so when I started maintaining and building my immune system, what I noticed was that I got back to health. My Because of chemo, I had gone into osteoporosis. I was just 49, and I was had a bone which said osteoporosis and things like that. And doctor prescribed calcium pills, 3 calcium pills, all my life. Like she said you have to take this all your life and 365 days. So I really bought a big box of those pills to have it, at least realizing what it is all about. So the moment I started building my immune system, just with whatever I'm going to share, I really kicked back to health. And now it's over 10 years and I'm doing really extremely well. I've got enough energy and I'm full of life. Yes. And I'm sure all of you want to get to that space. So what is it? So first why does our immune system get compromised? First, we should think of that, because we live, first of all, the first thing is to be alive free of stress. Yes, how we get stressed out, become aware of our thoughts and the feelings. See, something might happen externally, and then we are there. We feel something within ourselves. So there is a gap between that what is happening and what we are feeling, and that is our thoughts. So we can think different ways for the external action which is happening and feel accordingly. So the moment our thoughts change, the way we feel also changes. And however we feel, our body is going to secrete those kind of hormones. Feel good hormones have feel good thoughts have got feel good hormones, and we are going to get stressed out. Our body is going to secrete those. Yes, so that's, of course, definitely needs a subtle, that is more subtler, and we need to look into that also, which is very important. And the second is exercise. How many of you all do some bit of exercise here? Exercise is really, really important, because what happens is when you exercise, your body is moving, all your cells and muscles and everything moves, your lymphatic system, which takes in all the toxin, and lymphatic system actually is able to throw out the toxin through movement. So when we move, it definitely helps these toxins to get released. And so exercise is very important. Don't have to go to the gym and do all those big those tenuous exercise. We can do the simple walking and movement inside the house. If you sit in the computer and work for 1 hour, get up and walk around your house for 20 minutes or some 15 minutes, bend down. Those can be also exercises. Yes. Second is sleep. We need to really sleep well, because when we sleep, our body secretes melatonin, which is the healing hormone in our body, and our brain and our liver cannot work at the same time. When we rest and the brain rests, then our body gets into the healing space. And body heals and rests the best when it is night, when there is no melatonin, when the melatonin is secreted in the darkness. So let's remember that sleep is so important. We have to sleep that minimum 6 to 7 hours in the night and not during the daytime. Yes, and we feel rested and we get up really fresh. So sleep is really, really important. And the moment the sunlight is comes out, the serotonin is getting secreted. So that is the hormone which we need for us to be active and energized and help us to function well. So we don't get into a state of this depression when we don't have these two hormones in balance. It's when we feel depressed, anxiety, and all that kicks into our system. So no amount of pills and treatment is going to help you. We need to get this into balance. So sleep is really, really important. And the last one is the food. Food is in our control, isn't it? And we really, because our thoughts, it takes some time, and the rest of it, exercise and sleep also is in our control. And food is a major thing because we are putting it into our system. It has to get digested, and the body has to utilize it for the wear and tear and repair and for all the activities which we do. Don't we all talk about paisa vasool? When I had to give somewhere some money, don't we think 100 times, is it worth? Even this morning you would have all thought, is it worth spending 1 hour to listen to this talk? That's how we all think. So definitely the body is also smarter than us. It will think now where this food is good for us to digest, where there's nutrients. So love your body, feed it with real good nutrient food. That is so, so important. So diet can be a miraculous healer or a slow killer. So that's what is happening. Either we eat food which makes us feel good and heal us, or we are eating food which is going to kill us. So when I got cancer, one of the things I needed to look into is the food which I ate. Did it help me to become better, or it was a slow killer? So I would say no, I was lucky that I got my cancer when I was 47, so that I had the time to learn and do all this, and even God gave me time to share it. So it is like I would say now, if I look back, it's a blessing in disguise for me. So food needs to be our medicine. So let's understand how we a little bit about food. I'm sure you all must be knowing a lot. So many of it may not be new to you, but many times we know it, but we don't practice it for various reasons. So many things limit us in doing it. So that's where you really need to look into it and take the help, how we can follow it. Yes. So what are we eating when we look at it? A day when you start your food in the morning, what do we start with? Some of us are very nice. They'll say, no, we start a green tea, we start lime
No,
juice, we
we
start.
start with a masala tea in the morning.
Yes, and some like people who have changed. Otherwise, yes, it's very nice. Whoever has told is so true. We start with a masala chai. And how is a masala chai? With lots of sugar. Some of us like it with lots of sugar, with lots of milk. Some of us like it. Like I liked it with lots of milk and nice hot. And then we say, this is what charges up. Yes, this is my booster for the day. This is my petrol for the day. And then we start our day. And then by the end of the day, how do you feel? You feel so fagged out, so tired, bloated, tired. All that happens because throughout the day we would have eaten foods like this, which is processed, which is packed, which is acidic food, foodless food, which cannot digest. So this is all what we eat. And then we expect us to become healthy. So is it all real food? No. So we look at it, our body. Our body is really amazing. It can heal and get back to health, provided we put the correct fuel. Like we'll have this beautiful car. Will we go and put the wrong fuel in it? I'm sure a person who owns his car would go to the best petrol bunk and put the best petrol for it to run, isn't it? After all, it's one material thing. But we do that to the body? No, we don't do it. Now, if somebody says, here we get good vada pav, we don't mind driving, taking the car, going there and eating the vada pav and looking at and understanding whether it was good really, whether it was worth it. We do it. I mean, and there's nothing wrong in it, because we all eat food for taste. And we don't eat food for health. Let's understand that none of us eat food for health. We eat only for taste. For me, I started understanding food for health because I fell ill and I was almost going to die. So that is when I woke up. So let's not go to that space. Let's eat food for health and for taste. That is what I have been doing now for all these years, by eating food for health and taste. Okay. So now let's understand, how do we eat for health and taste. First of all, we should understand our intuitive nature. What is our intuitive nature? If I walk down this apple orchard, like anybody walks down this farm, what will be our intuitive nature?
To pluck the apple and eat immediately.
Yes, to pluck the apple. That is our intuitive nature. Even that's what we are all made. If you see fruits, whichever fruit is it, we will don't mind eating it, and we'll enjoy it, isn't it? So we are basically fruitarians. If you look at it, we are fruitarians, and fruit is a pre-digested food. So when you eat it, it gets digested in your body, and the nutrients is all absorbed in our body immediately. So that is what, and it really energizes. So just try, if you're feeling tired and you eat a banana, how you feel. You will really feel a change. So many of the things what I'll be sharing is, it's not some textual knowledge and something which you can hear and just keep it to yourself. You need it to use it to see how it works in your body, because our body is going to teach you. The body is going to give you all those reactions and all those feelings, so you can really connect to the body. Yes, like remember when, so that's really important. So the fruit is juicy and it's really nice, and it comes with rich nutrients. So eating according, so what we should first learn is eating according to our blueprint, what suits our body. That is the first thing we need to do, because as I told you, our body is amazing. It's really amazing. It can digest anything we eat, especially when we are young. Whatever they say, you eat stone also, my body can digest. There's a proverb some people say. So it is so good that it starts showing up as you grow older and older. Like much older, then the disease kicks in. It's not that like it's only in cancer, of course, you wake up, but otherwise your body has lost balance. It comes up with diabetes, blood pressure, some hormonal imbalance, some PCOD, some menopausal issues. We all go through it. Some teeth problem, isn't it? All those, or putting on weight. Now we don't consider all this as a problem. It is something a body is already telling you, please look into me and try to do something about it. But we ignore, and when it becomes a major illness, like life threatening, then we wake up. Like for me, if I look back, I didn't have major illness. I was quite active and all that, but still I had one nagging cough. Still I used to get once in a way the sore throat. I used to feel very tired. I never gave much importance to that, or even excessive bleeding. I really thought, okay, everybody has it, it doesn't matter. And finally, when it turned into cancer, I had to really wake up. So let's understand this amazing body, and the moment it shows you some signal, you need to look into it deeper and find out what we need to do, and not go to a doctor and take a pill. I'm not saying we don't go to a doctor, we need to, sometimes. But by taking the pill, let's not think that we are getting all right. It is not that. Yes, we are just doing away with the symptoms. So every time you eat or drink, so let's understand whether we are feeding a disease or fighting it. Okay, so that's what we need to think. So let's now as when I'm not saying, I'm talking about raw food, because that is what is grown in nature. Okay, so I'm not also telling that we need to go totally on raw, but let's look at it. When we eat food, how much of the raw component we have in the whole day in our plate? Except for the 2 kakadi and 2 tomato in our plate, we eat all the cooked food only. Yes or no? You all agree with me on that?
Yes.
We start the morning with the chai. Then after that, we have breakfast. And then we say, oh, we need to eat a fruit at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock. We're not eating fruit because we enjoy fruit or fruit is going to help us. We eat fruit because we have to eat fruit. Yes? Yes or no, right?
Yes.
That's what we do. Or, okay. And then we hardly eat any vegetables, and we eat a whole lot of cooked food. Now, cooked food really doesn't have much nutrients there. And the way we cook it, it gets depleted with all the enzymes and everything. and then we feel heavy, we feel sleepy, we feel lethargic, and the way we cook our food also is with a lot of oil and all that. And then of course we eat a lot of processed and packed food and things like that. So we need to eat food according to our blueprint, which is basically lots of fruits and raw. Now for me, how I figured out was when I was really sick and the doctor said now I have to nip it in the bud and things like that. When Louise had written that, I said, okay, let me try it. Anyway, I am rock bottom. If I eat this, I might get well, or I might, anyway, I'm in a dying state. It didn't matter. So I said, let me give it a try. And I was really serious about it when I did it. I said, I'll eat a big bowl of raw carrot because that's the only vegetable I had at home. So I made it into a salad. And remember, I am not a fruit eater or a salad eater. I've never eaten fruits or salads in my life. I hated them. But then, but the thought of me getting back to health, it motivated me to eat. And what I noticed was with just a big bowl of carrot in the morning, in the afternoon, and a big bowl of carrot in the evening, just 2 times. I got up in the morning feeling little better than, I won't say very good, but little better. And I had that burning sensation in my mouth was not there. So that is when I really said, let me learn more about this. And I began to read a lot. And there's so much of information on the net on all this. So raw food, the light, like this, the light of live foods. When we nourish ourselves with live foods, we have most potent diet for maintaining health and well-being and activating spirit that is available on our planet. So it is so important. So the live food, what it has, the raw food, I noticed was rich in nutrients and it is rich in fiber. So why we get constipation? Because we don't have fiber in our system. So raw food has fiber. It has got enzymes. Enzymes are the healers of our body. All raw food comes with rich enzymes. So when I had a big glass of carrot juice, or I ate a smoothie, or whatever I had which was not cooked, helped my body to heal. So the chemo didn't help me to heal. I can tell you the raw food which I ate helped me to heal. And we must put aside that fear which the doctors put into your head, that raw food you'll fall sick. Because it is not going to help unless we try it out. So for me, I really tried it out and I could feel it. And then I did my reading. So it was the other way about, because this was in 2007 when all this was not there at all much. So it was that way. Now of course there is enough information. Sharon is there, the organization which I am associated with, and there are so many people who share the same knowledge. So it's full of enzymes. Then it's got all the vitamins, estrogens, and it has got the phytochemicals, and it is alkaline in nature. So whenever we are having illness, our body is moved from alkalinity to acidity. It can be any illness. So we need to maintain the pH balance in our body by maintaining the alkaline state. So when you eat raw food, the body is able to get into the alkaline state. So when cancer is there, your body is really acidic. So when we eat a lot of alkaline food, it helps the body to heal, the cells to recoup and get back to health. And then there are good fats. It's not that the saturated fats. These are our good fats which our body can absorb, and a lot of water content. So if you eat a big bowl of salad, you are not going to feel thirsty. But if you eat a big bowl of food, cooked food, we all feel thirsty, isn't it? And then we drink 8 glasses of water and all those things. But when you eat food rich in water content, you don't feel thirsty at all. So that's what happens, because it's rich in water and it is rich in nutrients. So when we have water, we need to have the nutrients, not this plain water which we drink. And then what else the raw food does for you? The benefits, as I told you, it improves digestion. It brings down the inflammation in your body. So that's really important. So most of our illnesses, it's inflammatory. Like if you look at any thing, like arthritis or any of those things. So the inflammation comes down. When inflammation comes out, you start feeling much better. There's more fiber. Then it improves your heart health. It liver function. It prevents cancer, prevents constipation, because there's so much of fiber in your food. Like they say, there's one proverb one of my teachers used to say, If you ignore constipation, you can ignore your cancer. But if you think you need to look into your cancer and treat it, then you need to look into your constipation. So that is where the problem starts. You're not throwing out the toxic waste, and it creates a lot of illness. So many of us, constipation, okay, let me eat this, isabagol, blah, blah, we eat. But that is not the way we must do. When we eat food, automatically your body should be able to eliminate it without any issue. Then it gives you more energy, which is really clear skin. Then you don't have any nutrition deficiencies. Then you have it lowers amount of anti-nutrients. Carcinogenic diet helps to maintain body weight. So another thing is, you don't have to fight that weight loss. You just eat a whole plant-based diet, and with more of raw, you are bound to lose weight. So many of my clients will say, my God, I'm losing weight. I said, don't worry, you will lose, especially when it's cancer, and if you lose weight, doctors get worried. So I tell them, if you are energetic, don't bother. The doctor also will let you free. But if you go tired and then losing weight, then the doctor is going to give you some medicines. So if you're energetic, the doctor also says, okay, because he's seeing a different patient. Like he's seeing something different in you, not like all his other patients. So you losing weight becomes very easy. So this is when you look at the food pyramid. Now our cooked food comes out of this pyramid, isn't it? That we should have, there should be these portions of the water that is from all these leafy vegetables, from our fruits, all that we get. So many of them go on water fasting. That we are not going to talk about nor there, but we can definitely have more greens, and then we can have more fruits, vegetables, sprouts, nuts, and all the herbs, and then with whatever you're going to eat, all those medicinal fruits or what, and then you go on the cooked food. So when you look at the food which we eat, the cooked food is actually a lot we eat, but then we should eat more of, the foundation for food is more of leafy vegetables, fruits, and then when you have the proteins, you have the nuts and the sprouts. So that is what you should have in your plate more. Yes. So we start, like I am part of an organization called Sharan. It's called Sanctuary for Health and Reconnecting to Animals and Nature. And for me, we all start with the smoothie. It is a live food. Yes. So when I changed it to smoothie, I was not part of Sharan then. And I found the smoothie really helped me. Smoothie is nothing but, you have a bunch of any greens with your bananas, which is available 365 days, and some water. That much only that smoothie takes to make, and sometimes you can add another fruit to it. And so what happens is, that is only time you add a vegetable to your fruits. It's not a vegetable, it's only the greens, because greens is rich in chlorophyll, and it is equivalent to the hemoglobin in the body. So when I started eating smoothie, I really felt I started feeling much better, and I didn't have all those injections when I was taking my chemo. My blood count didn't go down, and so you find immediate result. Let me tell you that. So you can add any greens, like look at all the herbivorous animals. They are all so active and full of life, because they eat a whole lot of greens. So you can have your palak, your pudina, anything you want with your fruits. Of course, you go to the Sharan website, there's a whole lot of it. You attend a cooking class, we can teach you. So we start our day with the smoothie and not the chai and the coffee. If you really want the tea, you have an herbal tea. Just boil some water, put some lemongrass, some spice, some cinnamon, something like that, and drink it. Then after that, you have the smoothie, and then when you have your food, your main food, the meal, you definitely add a salad to it. And the salad should be a big portion, not one piece of kakadi and one piece of carrot and say, oh, I have a salad, because that's not going to help you, because your cooked food, remember, is depleted of all enzymes. It's overcooked and there's not much of nutrients. And so when you have a salad, it's rich in enzymes, so you don't have this issue of digestion and bloating and all. Initially, maybe when you're transitioning, the first few days, you might find some a little bit of uncomfort sometimes, some people, but after that it will settle down, because you're really eating a food which is rich in enzyme, and the cooked food can easily digest, which is it. So salad should be a part of your meal. And what do we say that to be out of your diet is the meat and the dairy products. So all the non-vegetarians here, please don't be taken back. It's not that we like, I know you all enjoy, people who are a non-vegetarian enjoy eating it. I was a vegetarian, but of course I loved my my milk and curds, and it took some time off for me to totally go off it. But what I noticed is when I had it by mistake, I felt my body would immediately tell it that, I started feeling uncomfortable, my stomach would bloat, and then I immediately knew that this is not suiting me. So, but that you will know only when you go totally off for some time. It's not that you eat 2 days, you don't eat, and the third day you eat, your body is not going to tell you. So, for almost at least 20 days or a month, if you people go on a whole plant-based diet and then you eat, drink a cup of chai or eat a fish or something, a cheese, then you will immediately come to know. But our body is so efficient and so wonderful that even when you cheat on some days, you can do the right thing and get back. Yes, I'm not saying that it will not help, but then you should remember that today I'm cheating, so let me compensate it by next day by going more on raw and more on on a fruit diet and something like that. So you're giving the cleansers for your body to detox. But otherwise, in Sharon, we all go off meat and dairy because, first of all, when you look at it, for me, I started with health reasons only. Then after that, you look into the environment, and then you look into the compassionate part, how animals are tortured, and, there is enough movies and videos and videos on all that, the way animals are treated, because the industrial farming has changed the entire thing. They don't even treat them as one being, which is, who has got feelings and who can connect, and all those, they don't even look into it in industrial farming. So when we are going to eat those kind of food where the animals have gone into so much of stress, it's going to affect us also. That stress is going to come into us, and then it is going to affect our health. So when we go off these dairy products and meat and all that, we also get into that sattvic nature, which is what our ancestors have told, no? Rajasic food, sattvic food, and tamasic food. So meat, dairy, and all goes more into the tamasic food. As you say, every part of our body functions better when it is fueled with healthy food, a positive environment. So that's also very important. Enough rest, physical exercise with minimal stress. So it's food is the first thing. Then we need to look into all the other things, and definitely our body is going to function very well. Now, this is what I did. I didn't do anything other than this to get back to health. It's very simple, very easy, and easy and doable. I won't even say it is difficult to do. It's actually doable if you put your mind and intention into it to get back to health. Yes. So I was talking, I'm part of this organization which is called Sanctuary for Health and Reconnecting to Animals and Nature. It was started by Dr. Nandita Shah, who herself is a doctor and reversed her illness, and then she started. And I've been attending a lot of sessions of hers, and one day she said, why don't you be part of Sharan? And that's how I got, and I love what I'm doing now. It gives me more pleasure than working as a social worker in an NGO and helping people. I was an adoption counselor, and I worked in community. So actually this work is giving me more pleasure and joy. So in Sharan, we have these 5-point plans to health. First is to eat a plant-based food. If the food is grown in a plant, eat it. If the food is made in a plant, please don't eat it. So that is something which you can remember. And then we also say go organic, which is much better because most of the food comes with a lot of chemicals and pesticides. But 1 minute. Then you eat a whole food. What do you mean by whole food? Can somebody tell?
More of, I think, nuts and, sprouts, etc.
Yes, so whole
One
food.
which is not processed.
Yes. So you don't eat the processed food, you eat whole. So what do we eat? We eat sugar, we don't eat the sugar cane. We eat rice which is polished. We eat wheat which is polished. So those are the things which we don't want to have. Like, a potato is peeled, a carrot is peeled. How many of us peel an apple and eat? So we
I
peel all our
do
fruits.
because they say it has got a coating of wax, so I always peel my apple and eat.
Okay, buy organic. Don't buy apple when it is in season. Don't buy those imported New York, New Washington apples.
Okay, ma'am.
Because what happens is between the skin and the fruit, there's all the nutrients. So when you peel it, you just try eating a fruit without peeling and a fruit peeling.
Mm-hmm.
You will find a taste difference. A carrot which is peeled and a carrot not peeled, you can find a difference. So that means that vegetable or the fruit has lost its nutrients. So never peel, wash it nicely. And why do you peel? Because we think there is chemicals and all. But just think, if the chemical is in the skin, it is gone inside also, na? So you're eating it anyway. So might as well eat it with the skin, wash it, remove the dirt if it is there, and then eat it whole. Eat how the monkeys eat. And don't peel your vegetables and fruits that is whole. So that means you get the fiber and then you're not depleting that of nutrients. And don't have packaged food, because all packaged foods has preservative, it's got chemicals, and most of them have got milk and milk products and sugar. Why are we so addicted to a Lay's packet? Because of the milk and the thing. So whenever you eat a food, read the package. What is there in that pack? The ingredients. You will understand what all they put into it. The processed food. So we really don't encourage anybody to have any of those things. So just these are the three things you should remember. And then the other thing is vitamin D. Most of our illness is also because we have low vitamin D, and vitamin D is something which we never check. So when I checked it for the first time, it was really, really low. Now, vitamin D, we get it through sunshine, of course, only through sunshine. It is a hormone. So when you have hormonal imbalance, so even vitamin D can go off balance. And to get it right, it's better to take a supplement for some time, and then get back to it and then keep checking. Another thing is the B12. That's also a thing which we get it only from dirt. It is not from anywhere else. And now with all the sanitization happening everywhere, and we are eating all these clean food and everything, we don't get vitamin B12. It grows in bacteria. So like, river water, well water, we don't have all that. Even the water in our house is chlorinated and purified and all. So we definitely need to have vitamin B12, and once it gets that normal stage, you can have it as to stabilize it once in a way, a 3 months course, and maintaining. So you can take the maintenance course. So these are the two things, are the only things in Sharan we tell us to have, and all of us who are associated with Sharan just have only these two supplements. You don't need to have any other supplements. They all come from our food. Yes. So and then of course you need any further assistance, this is the Sharan website, you can go to it. And of course my contact details are there. This is my email and this is my contact number. You can always call up and get in touch with me. And the Sharan website also has got all the information for consultation. If you're going through some medical issues, we have a whole lot of doctors who will help you to follow this lifestyle. There are a lot of classes and everything. And of course, you can always connect with me. I am also part of Sharan, and I also have my individual consultation. For any help, you can get back to me. So I shall stop sharing this thing, and if you have any questions, you can ask me, or any doubts for clarification.
Ma'am,
Yeah, I'll request you to please raise your hand so that we can take the questions one by one. Yes, Pooja, please.
First of all, thank you so much for the wonderful session. I would like to know about soya. Studies says so on internet there are different kind of things about soya, that some studies says that it's good for health. Some says that it increases the estrogen level. So is it good for female to take soya? Especially who are suffering with any kind of like PCOD or something like that. I mean, some or the hormonal issues.
See, soya, see, any plant product is doesn't have all those hormone. I mean, it doesn't disturb, so you can have. But soya is a plant which is grown intimate between the crops, and it is grown more as an animal food and all that. If you are going to keep yourself limited once in a way, having a little bit of soya bean or a tofu in your diet, it doesn't matter. But if you're going to have a lot of it, then again it's processed and it is not going to think. But then it's not that no, but once in a way you can have it. And estrogen and all is a hormone, and a plant product doesn't really affect all that. Only it's an animal product, we are affected by all that. So once in a way having soya is no problem. And then the soya sauce and all which we get, we do get one without the chemicals. You can buy the organic one, and once in a way use it, there's no problem at all.
Ma'am, people are using directly the beans, they are soaking the beans and then using it rather than that buddy and all the soya from soya chunks and all. So which one is better as per you?
See, it is nice to soak the beans and then make the soya milk and have it, but it's all a long drawn process. If you really want to follow this lifestyle, from my own personal experience, make it simple and easy to do it. If I say I'm going to make soya milk at home, I don't think I can really make it because it's a long work. But once in a way, it's okay to make a tofu at home. It comes out much better than what you buy in the shop, and it's easy. But then doing it on a daily basis and all becomes a big troublesome thing.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Pooja, for that question. Anita, please.
Yeah, hi, Jaishree. Thank you so much for this wonderful session and informative session, in fact. See, I would just like to know, like as you specified about fruits, okay, don't peel fruits and vegetables also, like don't peel the skin and all. But when it comes to certain fruits, like whether it is mango or whether it is, some hard fruit like jackfruit or something, we definitely have to peel. Even banana for that matter, we peel off the skin. So here, what do you actually suggest? Like even when for vegetables, also, certain vegetables we do peel the skin. Like when I use, especially the what do you call pumpkin? Okay, I don't know whether you're supposed to have the skin in that, but because I normally peel it off and then I, use
Yes.
it quickly.
So what did I say? Eat as a monkey. Monkey peels, you peel. So you can't eat a jackfruit with the skin. Mango you can eat, but you really enjoy the mango once you peel the skin. So certain things it's okay, but definitely not fruits like pear, apple, and chiku and all where we don't peel. And even vegetables, a pumpkin can be really grated and had a nice salad without removing the skin at all. You don't need to remove a pumpkin skin. But a skin like a suran, a yam, you have to remove. But a potato, you don't have to remove the skin. The cucumber, you don't have to remove the skin. So many of the vegetables, you don't need to remove the skin. It's only getting used to it because we are used to peeling it. Now we have to really get used to not peeling it. So when the skin is very thin and stuck and to the vegetable, you don't need to. When it's really thick, then you remove. So you can use your discretion and remove.
Okay, but pumpkin skins are quite hard, pumpkin skin. So
if you get the organic, no, mostly it can be done. It is not so much, but sometimes if it's too hard, okay, remove a little bit of it.
Otherwise, we can grate and we can do it, right?
Yes, we can grate and use it in our salads.
Fine. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anita, for your question. Friends, we will open up the session for some feedback now. Your feedback is very important to us. So we are pasting a link for your feedback. It takes less than 30 seconds. So please share your feedback using the link in the chat box. And we are also sharing the link for our WhatsApp community. I'll take a minute to talk about the sessions we have planned in the month of March. 8th March is International Women's Day. So we are having a lot of speakers talk about issues relating to women. We are having Captain Ursna Agrawal, who is a pilot with Indigo, talk about family versus career, what is more important. Then we have Aarti, who's an international image consultant, talk about balancing the inner beauty and the outer beauty. And we have one session on super learning, and we have a book reading session on The Greatest Secret by Rhonda Byrne. So exciting sessions in March. Please join our community to stay tuned with those awesome sessions. The link is being pasted. And once you have also done your feedback, please type FD in the chat box so that we know. Thank you, Anil. Thank you, Sini. And while you're filling out the feedback forms, I'll request Sunita to please share a question.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, my question is like, ma'am had talked about live foods, like raw food. What about soup and boiled vegetables that we have? Like, is it okay to have them?
Yes, you can have.
Like, I like to eat boiled vegetables.
Yes,
and soups.
I didn't talk that you should go off cook food, definitely, but the portion of the raw food is what we need to increase, and then slowly, because we can't go 100% raw, though that is the best. And definitely when you have vegetables and fruits, vegetables and soups, remember that, the more we cook, the food is really going to get depleted of enzymes. So you can steam it and have it. Even a soup also you can steam it and use your stock and blend it to make your soup and not overboil it. And you can find the difference, doing that steaming and cooking your food and cooking it directly on fire. You can make out the difference. So that's what you need to do. So we have in Sharan, we have cooking classes where teach how to cook food also, because when I started this way of eating, I needed to make the tasty food also and healthy food. So probably I relearned to cook. So that's what is there, and we have enough sessions to teach you all how to cook a healthy and tasty meal. It's not only tasty, but healthy and tasty. So that's where we need to get at and have more of raw. The percentage of raw also to increase, so that at late when you're really sick, it is nice to eat raw than more cooked food. So eating raw food becomes very easy. Like if I am sick now, example, I got COVID. So I could be on raw for 3-4 days without any problems. Whereas in my family, the others couldn't. And my recovery rate and getting back to energy was much more easier than the others. And it's so in our Sharan, we had a Sharan helpline desk for COVID, and we found all of our patients who were following the Sharan lifestyle, they kick back to health very soon. Because so when you're sick, you have more of raw, you become much better. So the portion of raw you need to increase in your diet on a daily basis.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And thank you for that
And
question.
thank you for a wonderful session.
Thank you, Sanita.
Jaishree ma'am, this raw food must be organic, otherwise the pesticides and everything is coming. If we take raw, at times we have this thing that are we taking healthy fruits and vegetable, because we don't know. They at times sell saying organic, but it's not really organic. And that how we can then clean and then have it raw, like.
Okay. When you cook, does all those chemicals and pesticide go? Do you think that when you cook it, it goes? It's there in your food. Like if you buy milk, with the cow is fed with so much of hormones and preservative and all, it's there in the milk. But we just boil it and drink it. When you eat food, probably it's a germs. I don't know what. So we have to trust people when it's organic. And as far as possible, it's nice to get organic, or nice if you don't. But eat at least the raw, it helps. Because when I was going through cancer, when I had my green juice, It was not in
Mhm.
2008. I didn't get organic, nor I knew where it was available. But the greens which I bought from the market, just soaking it in some salt water with haldi, was okay, and I had it. So it didn't matter, because it's nice to have seasonal. So when you have seasonal, the nature itself looks into that fruit which is growing in that season. So the chemicals and pesticides, its absorption of that fruit is very, very less. So it's okay. But it's the best to have organic. But if you don't, definitely. But it is always good to have raw, and nothing will happen when you have it. Because for me,
Okay.
when you
You were
have the
saying
fear
that,
that it will help, it
yeah,
will
yeah,
happen.
to soak in salt and haldi water for some time when we are
No, it
washing
is
it.
without cutting it. You can soak the whole thing for little time and have it. It is just for your own, uh, for your own, feeling. I
Satisfaction.
am having satisfaction, I would say. But otherwise, you
Yeah.
just wash it in running water and have it. It is also good enough.
Okay, thank you,
Because
ma'am.
when the plant is sprayed with too much of pesticide and chemicals, the produce also goes down. So no farmer would do that. He wants a good produce and yield also, isn't it? So the absorption is very less. That's what you do. A lot of reading. Go to Sharon website. There are a whole lot of books, resource materials. The more you read, I would always say that when you read and understand, then your confidence goes up. Most of the time we just hear and try to do things. So it is nice to read. Like for me, I spend a lot of time in reading all those books, and there are enough number of books written by very good doctors who are following the whole plant-based diet. You have Dr. Neil Bernard, Dr. Campbell, so many of them, and they are all leading specialists in their fields, like heart. And so you read it, and then you get that confidence to follow it also.
Yeah,
And your
thank you so
body
much.
is the best
Yeah.
messenger. They guide you. It tells you what is good for you and what you can follow.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm already having vegan smoothies, so I'm exploring more to it. Thank
Yes,
you so much.
yes, true. You get addicted to the smoothie in the morning once you start having it. Then your
Yeah,
tea and coffee addiction just goes off.
yes, ma'am.
And to the
So
smoothies, we
we
could
have three
add
people.
things
I'll
like
request you to please,
badam and chia seeds.
No. You don't add any fruit. You have fruits are pre-digested food and they digest very fast in your system. So you don't mix it with a cooked food or with a vegetable. Have fruits, take about some gap and then have. And you don't put all
Not
these
cooked
chia
food,
seeds. Don't put
badam and
chia seeds,
chia
no
seeds.
badam. The nature nut, how it comes. Nut is very hard to digest, isn't it? Whereas a fruit is easily digestible. So when you mix a fruit with a nut, you have it doesn't get digested well. Then what do you blame on? See, if you eat sandwich, just think. I eat a sandwich with a cucumber, and then what happens to you? You have that burping sensation, and then you feel that the cucumber is not giving you a problem. How many of us feel that? And then you blame the poor cucumber and say, oh, let me have a sandwich without the cucumber. But it is not that. The cucumber digests faster, and the bread which is made with maida doesn't digest. So there is an indigestion happening, and then you have all this issues of burping, and you feel all that sensation, and then it turns acidic in your system.
Jaishree ma'am, we are towards the end of the time for
Yes.
the session, but we have 4 more people with questions. So is it okay if we draw the session to a close and then we stay on and answer those questions for some more time? How are you on time?
Yes, maybe we can take another 5 minutes.
Okay. So I understand this is 1 o'clock, friends. Thank you for joining us. Please stay connected with us by clicking on our WhatsApp community link. That's where we will share the recording of the session as well. So you can stay tuned with us. And those who have other commitments may leave now. Thank you very much for joining us today. We really appreciate your taking out time and joining us, and look forward to your continued participation in our sessions through whole of March and April. Also, we have got some exciting sessions coming up. So thank you. And thank you, Jaishree, very much for your time. And, we are getting some awesome feedback on the chat. There's Dr. Siddharth says, being a medical practitioner, he was not aware that by, having raw food diet, one could reverse cancer. So that is one of the feedbacks we got. So thank you very much, Jaishree ma'am. And now I'll ask Shashi to go with this question.
Thank you, Ashish, for giving me a chance to share this in this platform.
Thank you, Jaishree ma'am. Yes, Shashi.
Okay, I missed that. Okay, sorry. Ma'am, thanks a lot for the wonderful session. Absolutely. I have two questions, but very quick ones. One is, when you have the smoothie, are you sieving it or you're supposed to have it with the pulp and everything?
You have it with the pulp. You just put the bananas and the greens with water. See, we need to have a lot of greens because greens is rich in chlorophyll and it helps our body building cells. Now, I cannot give you a bunch of greens and tell you to eat it. I mean, it's not possible. So then, it is best to blend it with banana and drink it. And now that is the best way to consume that greens. And if you're very healthy and you're fine, we can't be taking time off to have a green juice in the afternoon and we can't remember. So the ideal way is to have it with the smoothie in the morning with the bananas and you're taken care for the whole day.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks. And the second part is, ma'am, these raw vegetables, it's fine, but continuously we keep hearing that, cruciferous vegetables like the cauliflower, cabbage, they have worms. Right, they will hamper with the thyroid, increase uric acid, bunch of things. Maybe it's misinformation, but just wanted your perspective to get.
Yes, so uric acid and all is not because you are more of protein in your body and the protein doesn't get digested and it turns into thing. So that's a different thing totally. You can definitely wash your cabbages and cauliflowers very well, put it in a little bit of warm water or some haldi water, something like that, and have it. And so that is it. And during season you buy, you don't find all these worms and all. And it's organic, you don't find it. It's only when you buy off season you have. So eat seasonal, regional vegetables and fruits, and it is taken care of.
Okay, thanks a lot. Thank you. That's all, Ashish. Thank you.
Thank you, Shashi. Yes, Karishma, please. You're on mute, Karishma.
Unmute yourself.
Yes. Hi, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, I wanted to get a fair idea about the autoimmune diseases. So with respect to that, what is your view regarding this particular disease?
See, autoimmune, is it that your body itself doesn't identify, there's some issue with body identifying those cells. So autoimmune disease definitely needs treatment, doctors, medication, which you need to have. And but definitely the whole plant-based diet really helps because we have in Sharan a lot of people who have gone through autoimmune, and Dr. Nandita herself, and who has healed herself. So the healing takes some time, but with the whole plant-based diet, it really helps. And if you really want more assistance on it, you can always take consultation from Sharan, and there are good doctors who will guide you because the medication has to be looked into also in autoimmune. It's not that you can just do away. So you definitely need guidance, and doctors who follow whole plant-based diet really help you in that. So we have in Sharanya, who has come out of autoimmune illness. Like that we have many. And we have Shalu, her husband had autoimmune and he's much, much better now.
Okay, because that's what I also understand. So in autoimmune, there is a probability of they giving steroids, which can have effects later going forward.
Yes. So what happens is when you follow the whole plant-based diet, the doctors bring down the medicines and to a great extent you can, there'll be very minimum steroids and all can be stopped. But you definitely need the help of a doctor to do it. You can't do it alone and it's not advisable at all. And there are people who have reversed it, so you can always go and connect with them. The Sharan website, we have Shalu, we have Sharanya, all of them have reversed their own autoimmune illness. And so you can collect more information with them.
Done. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
And
Thank
Dr. Nandita herself helps a lot of patients with autoimmune because she also has reversed hers.
Sure, sure. Thank you. It was a very nice session.
Yes,
Thank you, Karishma. Anil, you may go next, please.
Uh,
We have
yeah.
two more questions, and that will be last. Vasanti and Shiba after Anil.
Thanks, Jaishree ma'am. I wanted to ask what exactly is organic food, and whatever vegetables and fruits we get in the market, is that organic, or and what is it?
1 minute.
Yeah. Ma'am.
See, organic is something where the farmers don't use much of chemicals, they don't use at all. And they produce, they grow. So it takes a long time for the farmer to make his soil like that. If he has used a lot of chemicals and pesticides in growing his crop, and then after that, actually the soil gets so depleted, the farmer also realizes that now he's not able to get those produce. So many farmers now are following this organic way of things. So they use the same leaves to mulch and produce. They have more of earthworms in the soil to aerate and things like that. This is what our farmers did long time back. But then with the industry coming up with so many of these and telling that your crop will grow well and you will have good yield and all that, they used it. But then the farmers are realizing it now. And that affects our health also, because we are also getting those vegetables. So in Sharan, we have a lot of talks, meet the farmer kind of talks, where you can attend and understand more. I may not be able to tell you more about this. They explain very well how it is organic and what is not organic. So every month we have meet our farmer. So if you go to the Sharan website, you can register. They're all free programs which you can. So we have many farmers who came and talked about it in our platform.
Okay. So when I go to the market, I will not really know whether it's
You will
organic
not
or
know, but there are, if you go to the Sharan website, there are lots of organic farmers. So you trust and buy it from them. Then you know, like I buy from an organic farmer, I trust his produce and I buy it from him.
Okay.
So that's
Thank
what you can do. But we as lame people won't know. But when you buy it for a long time, I will now know when it is organic and when it is not organic, because I have eaten it and I have understood it. But with our just eye, we can't make out. At
Thank
least
you.
I can.
Yeah. Thanks.
So,
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Anil. Vasanti, you may go with your question next, please.
Yeah, hi, ma'am. Thanks for a very informative session. My question was regarding nuts and seeds and sprouts. What is the best way to eat them? Like, do you actually boil the sprouts, or do you take them raw?
see, when you're soaking a seed and sprouting it. So when it is sprouted, that seed is rich in amino acids. Now our body converts protein into amino acids and then only it's absorbed. And most of our body can it does that. So when we eat sprouts, we are having it as amino acids, not as that hardcore protein. So it's easy for our body to digest. But if you really cook it, like you have to cook some of it, like the kabuli chana and all that, we can't eat raw. But definitely you can eat the moong sprout, matki and all raw. So sprouts are rich in proteins, amino acids, and they are you need it for your body. And that they comes from the 6 essential amino acids come from these sprouts. The rest of it our body can produce. And seeds also you can have no issue. Nuts in nature, how it comes. If I give you a walnut fully without breaking, how many walnuts you will break and eat?
Yeah, correct.
1 or 2. So we always tell in Sharan that you have only about 10 nuts a day. Don't overdo your nuts, because when you have too much of nuts, again your body turns acidic, and especially when it's roasted and all, you eat lots of it.
So soaking it overnight is preferred for nuts?
Yes, good. That is very nice. Soak it and throw out the water, and then you do whatever you want with it. Make it a cheese or make it milk and have it.
And what about dry fruits in that case? Anything which is dry, like raisins or fig?
So raisins, figs and all, you can use it as your sweetener replacement, because when it's dried, Anyway, the water content is removed, so it takes a longer
Okay.
time for your body to digest. So you can replace it for your sugar, all your dried
Oh,
fruits.
limited amounts is suggested, not
Yes,
too
yes.
much. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Vasanti. And Jaishree ma'am, last question from Shiba. Shiba, I'll request you to keep it crisp, please.
Sure, sir. Thank you very much, ma'am, for this session. I'm really intrigued. Two quick questions. One is, somebody had asked this earlier, in terms of the larvae, that is found in the greens, especially when we use them for salads, the leaves, and they're a little scary. They're not mosquito larvae. Sometimes there are tapeworm larvae also. How do we get rid of them if you're going to put them in a smoothie?
I don't know. I've never thought of all these, Shiba. Really, I just washed my leaves and I put it. I've been having it now the past 10 years. Nothing has happened to me. And I buy organic. I don't go to my nearest vendor and buy my greens. And I grow some of my greens at home, like the pan and the mint and all. I grow at home, curry patta, and I use it. So we need to take a call on that, because it's not that you wash it nicely and have it. See, if you're going to cut your vegetables and eat it also, like you cut the coriander and put it all in your, every recipe you use coriander. Now, do you think of lava when you cut? I mean, you just cut and eat. So this also you trust and eat it like that. Bas.
Right, ma'am. Thank
Source
you.
it from
And
a
the other
good
question
place.
is, sure, ma'am. And the other question is, when you do the smoothies and the greens, is there a regime, like, so many days of palak is not needed? Do you alternate something like that?
See, we don't recommend palak every day, because the palak is high in oxalate and it disturbs the calcium absorption. But
Yes,
it's okay to have 1 or 2 days. And every day having palak also makes you boring, your smoothie becomes. So you can add different greens and make your smoothie interesting.
Right, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jaishree ma'am, for such an
Thank you,
awesome.
Ashish.
Yeah.
See you.
See you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you,
so
ma'am.
much. Fantastic session. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. And leave Ashish.
Yes.